Hey guys, thanks for clicking on today's video. I have a really fun Christmas crochet tutorial to show you guys. It's super beginner friendly. It's really fun to make, and these gnomes are really fun to whip up. So this is my own pattern for a granny triangle crochet gnome ornament, and I was playing around with these one day and it actually turned out really neat. So I wanted to share it with you, and there's several different ways you can do this with different colors. You can make a boy or a girl, and I'll mention later and how to do that. And yeah, let's just go ahead and dive in. Start off our gnome, we're going to start with our red yarn and create a magic circle, and we're going to chain 2, and that's going to be our first double crochet. We're going to place 2 more double crochets next to that, and for the corner we're going to chain 1. Then we're going to place, because we need 3 more of these clusters, we're going to place another 3 double crochets, chain 1 space for the corner, and then do another 3 double crochets in the center. You kind of pull that tail end along as you go so that it can close up the gap and make it a little easier to guide your stitches. Okay, so that's the last double. And then we're going to do one more chain 1 space, close the gap a little bit, and insert our hook into the top of the first double crochet, or that chain 2 space that we did to start off the round. So to start the next round, we're going to chain 2, and that counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to say that it's coming out of not the corner but that first stitch. It's right on top of that double crochet. So we're going to place a double crochet into the next double crochet of the previous round, and then another double crochet in the next one. So this is a solid granny triangle. When we get to the corner, we're going to put 2 double crochets in that gap. We're going to chain 1 to create the next corner, and then put another 2 double crochets into that same corner gap. We're going to continue right on into these stitches right here. Place a double crochet into the top of the first one, and then 1 in each stitch along. We're at another corner, place 2 double crochets into the corner gap. Chain 1 to create another corner, and then 2 double crochets into the same gap again. And then 1 double crochet again across the top of these double crochets from the previous round. So we're approaching where we were, and we're going to put 2 double crochets into that gap in the corner, chain 1, and another 2 double crochets for our last of this round. And now we're back where we were, so we're going to slip stitch into the top here, the top of the chain 2 that we did. So that's the end of the second round, and I'm going to chain 2 And then do the same thing I just did the previous round, going 1 double crochet in each stitch. When I approach the corner, I'm going to put 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and then another 2 double crochets. And you'll just continue that all the way around and slip stitch when you get to the end. And we're going to be doing about 3 to 4 rows. You can make this as big as you want. You can make the hat as big as you want. I do about 3 to 4 rows depending on the yarn that I'm using. And you're just going to finish off at the end. So I will go do a couple more rows and come back and show you what it looks like. So I just finished my granny triangle. I just did 4 rows, and I've also trimmed where it ended and hid the tail end. And I did the same thing on the back here. I just tied it into a knot and then trimmed it. So when you're done and satisfied with the size of the hat, we are going to make the beard. So you're going to take your white yarn, and there's several ways you can do this. Basically, we're going to create a bunch of strips. So I found the best way. The length that we want to do, you can do whatever length you want, but I like it to be about that long or so. But each tassel, because the beard is made out of tassels, it's going to be doubled. So really we want a strand that is this long. So to do that, I kind of take my hand and lay the yarn over it, and I hold it in place with my thumb, and then I just start wrapping around. And this is the best way to make a ton of strands all at once that are all the same length. So you're just going to keep wrapping, and then when you get to the however many that you want, you're just going to cut it right there. So that you have a bunch of strands. Obviously I'm going to need more than that, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to show you with a couple of these. So we're going to start by taking 2. And I like to flip over to the back side when I do this. And I'll show you why in a second. It doesn't matter, but it's just my personal preference. And we're going to basically put 2 strands in each of these double crochet gaps for the beard. So I don't like to put them in the corner because the beard hangs down kind of starting here, and I don't want it to flare out from the corner, so I don't put any in the corner. So I'm going to go into the next one, and I'm going to take my 2 strands and pull them through, just stopping right there. Take out my hook, and I open this up a little more because we're going to be grabbing with these 2 fingers, we're going to be grabbing these strands through the hole. But you can see that these 2 are shorter than that one, so we're just going to want to like adjust them and move it around with our fingers so they're about the same size, so that way when you pull through you don't have to worry too much about trimming, and they're roughly the same size now. So if they're not super even, we're going to trim them at the end, so don't worry about that. But this is why I wanted to do it on the back side, because we have these like 2 loops right here, whereas on the front side it's kind of more like a ball, and I want that ball look because I don't like how sometimes you can see the red through there, so I always put that on the back side so that the front looks a little bit more presentable. So I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to take 2 strands, and with our crochet hook we're going to go into the next double crochet gap and line up our yarn and pull it through. Pull up a loop. Take our fingers through there. Line up the strands and make sure they're similar in length. And then just pull through to create a tassel. And we're basically going to do that all the way down the line until you are satisfied with the beard. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be back here and we will attach the nose. So I just finished my beard and trimmed the way that I wanted it to. And if you have yarn that's kind of toward the end, sometimes these scraps aren't as straight. This is why I recommend using cotton yarn, so you can actually use a straightening iron, or just, I guess, a regular iron to kind of straighten those strands out a little bit if yours happen to be a little messy and all over the place. But you can see why I didn't want to put them quite on the corners, because they would go out, versus a beard is supposed to go down and keep straight. So this is the way I like mine. You can trim these however short you want. If you wanted to do a girl gnome, you can actually divide these and braid them. So you can like braid these together, and you can actually go into the corner so they're a little bit more to the side if you wanted to create a girl. So I've done that as well, and it's really cute. So we're gonna do, I guess I'll just tie the twine for now since it's in front of me. I have my hot glue gun plugged in, so it's ready to go in a minute. And all we're gonna do to create the loop to make it into an ornament is just cut a piece of twine the length that we want. This can be as long or as short as you want it. So we're gonna go into the top here, the very top corner, and just poke through the twine. And I like to match them up here, match up my ends. And we're going to tie them in a knot. The way I tie this in a knot is to just fold it over itself and make a loop. And then take these two strands and just pull it through, but I don't want to do it all the way down here in the middle because I don't have much room to work here. So we're actually going to push this up and get it as close to the end as we can get it. And give it a good tug so it's tight. And then you can take these two and trim them away so that you have a loop for the ornament. Okay, last but not least, we're going to glue on the nose. This is a little puff ball, and to do that I'm going to use my hot glue gun. You can either put the glue right on the ball itself, just be careful not to touch your fingers, or you can do it on the crocheted piece. I'm going to be doing mine on the crocheted piece. It doesn't matter, but I think sometimes it's easier to find the center that way. So you can find the center and point the glue gun kind of down here. And I kind of do mine right above where the white and the red meets. And you can see my glue is kind of a short stick in here, so I'm going with what I have left. So when I have that glued on, I'm going to take the puff ball and press down. Careful not to touch the glue on the other side. And just kind of hold it there and press it down for a few seconds. So after a few seconds, you can pick it up and kind of smush it into place a little better. Add some more glue if you want. And sometimes the glue gun can leave behind some residue, so you can take that time to clean it up a little bit. So there is the gnome with the nose glued on and the beard and the twine up here. It's pretty much done. My final touch that I like to do, that would be a good idea for you too if you want, instead of just leaving this a white puff ball, I like to add a little bit of makeup or blush, pink, a little pink dusting on the nose. So I just got this brush slightly dipped into my blush. You can use eyeshadow for this as well, or whatever you have, and just do a little dusting around the nose. And this kind of gives it a cute, kind of like a cold, you know, it's cold outside for these gnomes, so you can make it look like it's got a rosy nose, and I think it's just a really cute touch. So you can play around with that and add as much or as little as you want, or not at all, it's up to you. I like a little bit of dusting to make it look rosy pink. And that is it for this tutorial. So I hope you guys like the way your gnome turned out. It's a super easy project. Let me know if you have any questions or you want me to go more in depth with how to make the granny triangle. I thought about making some basic tutorials for crochet tips and, you know, for basic things, but this is a super beginner friendly tutorial, and these ornaments make really cute gifts. I've actually already sold a few of these to some neighbors and I've gotten really good feedback, so go ahead and play around with these and make them, you know, you can braid the sides to do little, just add extra personality to your gnome. But that is it for this tutorial. Please send me on Instagram the ones that you guys make. You can DM me at the North Stitch, and I would love to shout you guys out in a future video. I love showing other people the work that you guys do because of my tutorials. And let's just get into these Christmas vibes. I think I have a few more tutorials to show you guys for fun little Christmas activities, so I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.